Hey guys, Albert Apache, open source self-defense, fitness, and grappling. So I wanted to do a quick reaction or review video to this particular video, but it might be longer than some others because this is in itself a pretty long video. It's 8 minutes. But I found this video so overwhelmingly ignorant and hilarious. Like, I don't know if the guy's trolling or he's being serious. I mean, there's some things that are like quite blatantly like just goofy about what he's saying in the examples that he uses, and so I'll kind of point to those and as to why I'm not really sure, but it's kind of funny. So let's kind of watch and see what he has to say. Oh, sorry about the crazy hair, guys. I had a workout and just before this, but I really wanted to get this video out, so I'm trying to get it out as quick as I can. Let's check it out.
You love participating in BJJ because you think it's fun, because it's a great workout, or anything along those lines, then perfect. I agree with you, but BJJ doesn't work in a real-life situation.
Heard this a lot.
This video is dedicated to those of you who watched my other video on the top 5 worst martial arts and didn't seem to be convinced regarding my thoughts on BJJ. I want to make it clear that it's not my goal to disrupt any legacies, to harm club attendance, or even to negatively impact the sales of rash guards. All I want to do is keep people safe. And that's why I feel like...
So immediately, this is why I'm not sure if he's being serious or not, or this is a troll video, because he's completely disingenuous. You know, on the one hand, he's like, all I care about is keeping people safe. But then he's being sarcastic about rash guards and legacies and, you know, hurting club attendance. So, you know, it's just completely disingenuous because he's being a sarcastic jerk, but he's saying that's not what he's there to do. So again, it is pretty blatant. So I'm not really sure that he's being serious, but let's continue to watch.
It's my responsibility, my obligation, to let people know that BJJ doesn't work. Why do people look to BJJ in the first place? Because of the success of cage fighting. And how did this even come to be? Well, back in 1993, Royce Gracie, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, won the very first Ultimate Fighting Championship. So not only was this tournament won by a BJJ practitioner, but by this guy who was much smaller and weaker than most of the other guys. So you have this brand new, very exciting thing where these guys are just killing each other in a cage. This is far more barbaric than boxing, and people love to watch this kind of thing. And who wins? A BJJ practitioner. So that tells everyone, move over, Mike Tyson. All of a sudden, there's a new baddest man on the planet.
How dare you talk to me like that?
Let's take a moment to acknowledge 2 very important rules, though. Back in the day, you could not bite and you could not eye gouge. The rules today are even worse. You can't do anything, but that's a different video. Now, people might look at eye gouging and biting as barbaric,
2 things,
sloppy, and uncivilized. But those 3 things are exactly
now it became 3.
What real fighting is. Have you ever...
So his premise that you can't bite or eye gouge in and of themselves, just those 2 techniques, completely skewed it in favor of the jiu-jitsu guy. I just think it's hilarious. I mean, what special Shaolin monk eye-poking technique, you know, does he think that there is, right? That's part of a, you know, real martial art as he would classify it. Or what special monkey kung fu biting technique? You know, what is it that is more deadly than just biting somebody? I mean, those aren't legitimate techniques in the sense that there's a way to train them or there's a way to develop them, right? I mean, pretty sure human beings, Homo sapiens, have been poking each other in the eye and biting each other since the dawn of man, right? I mean, it just seems ridiculous. Like, this is why I can't take this serious. I mean, I think this has to be a joke. This guy has to be joking around.
Ever seen a real fight? They usually don't look like anything that you've ever seen on TV or in the movie.
So he asks, have you ever seen a real fight? It doesn't look like anything you've ever seen on TV or the cage. And then he shows a guy, look at that. He's showing a guy mounted on another guy throwing strikes from the top because we've never seen that in the cage before. I don't know. He's got to be joking.
Usually the two people who lose their tempers and go at it don't have the presence of mind to choreograph their moves. When it comes to a real fight, you do whatever you have to do.
And so to illustrate his point about doing whatever you have to do, he splices in a Dumb and Dumber clip where there's quite literally two actors going at it, like truly choreographed. Oh man, that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, this is why I cannot take this guy seriously.
I've been in countless controlled, friendly sparring sessions where there's a sense of respect and boundaries. But I have also been in situations where I have definitely eye gouged and where I have bitten people. And I would absolutely do it again because it works. And when you put a BJJ practitioner on a pedestal because he wins a tournament where realistic scenarios have been stripped away, then you're modeling your self-defense after someone who's not displaying true self-defense. What this guy is doing is participating in a sport. Now, if you want to call BJJ a sport and leave it at that, fine, I'm with you. It's fun to watch, it's fun to participate in. But when you call it a self-defense, when you call it a martial art, you're twisting it for marketing purposes, for a false sense of security, for a profitable ranking system. I don't know, but the BJJ that's being taught today is no longer the BJJ that would qualify.
So I don't know, like, again, I don't even know if I should keep going because I don't know how to take this guy serious, right? So first he says for a profitable ranking system. That's just hilarious given what traditional martial artists or traditional McDojos do, right? Oh, we'll get your kid to black belt in 3 years. They charge to do your belt testing, right? Most of the BJJ schools I've been to, there's no charge to belt test. As a matter of fact, a lot of BJJ schools don't even have a official belt test, right? Basically, the professor literally hands-on spars with you live to feel how well you understand the techniques and how you can adapt them in a dynamic environment. And then given that decides, well, should I give you a stripe or are you ready for the next belt or whatever the case may be. Further, he goes on and he says it's not the self-defense BJJ that it was based on. And then he shows a picture of Hiron and Henner, who quite literally, that's their bread and butter business model-wise, is selling the self-defense aspects of jiu-jitsu. So it's really hard to take this guy serious. Like, I just can't believe that he's being serious. There's a couple times where you see splices, and it looks like when he splices out or he splices in, like he has a big grin on his face, like he cuts away, and maybe he's really laughing off camera because he just doesn't even really believe what he's saying, and maybe he's just being over the top. But I find it, I just can't believe he's being serious. This is ridiculous.
It's life-preserving self-defense. BJJ comes from judo, which is a sport, and judo came from jiu-jitsu, which actually was a martial art, but everything was watered down from there. I do believe that the ground defense found in BJJ has value and can play an important role along with other important aspects of other martial arts. But BJJ as a whole has been contaminated by the sport aspect of it. The same is true with Taekwondo. And now it looks like they're going to have karate in the Olympics, and they're going to go and ruin karate too. Now, I want to make it clear that I do understand the original purpose of BJJ. A smaller, weaker person can defend himself against a stronger, larger attacker by taking away their range and the power of their strikes. But this is simply going from one precarious situation to another one, a worse one. With the right training, you can use your speed, timing, footwork, placement, etc.
See, this is what I mean. Like, I can't take this guy serious. Again, to illustrate his point, he goes to a movie, to a theatrical production with paid actors that are acting like they're fighting, that are literally doing choreographed moves to prove his point. Like, it's like I can't. This can't be serious. I can't. This cannot be a serious breakdown or opinion that BJJ doesn't work. Like, I mean, it's just, this is hilarious.
To win against a larger, stronger attacker, or anyone for that matter, all while on your feet. But when your first and only option is to pull a guard or trip the guy to the ground, then you better hope that this larger, stronger attacker doesn't also study BJJ, therefore nullifying your upper hand and now putting you right back in the same places where you started. But oh yeah, now you're also on the ground. You have to consider that a lot of the time, bad people have more bad people with them. That's just the way they like to travel. When you're on your feet, you can create distance and even use angles to place one attacker in front of the other to block his line of entry to you. But when you're on the floor, you're getting stomped out. There's such a rules and regulations mentality in the BJJ culture that they don't seem to realize that people are more than willing to break these rules and smash their faces in.
So finally, he makes one legitimate point. Okay, it's a point that, you know, of contention even within the BJJ community. It's become more and more prevalent, thanks to you know, the no-gi grappling, no holds barred, you know, Eddie Bravo, EBI grappling scene that's been coming on, which is, you know, and dealing with MMA and combat jiu-jitsu, is that you could possibly get hit in the face. Like, you could, all these different things can happen. So, you know, and that there's too much of a rules and regulations culture sometimes, to where sometimes that takes over within the academy, and now people are, you know, well, you can't do that hold because, you know, this sanctioning body deems that illegal, and you can't do this because this sanctioning body says that's illegal. So that's somewhat of a legitimate claim, but, you know, it's one of those things where I mean, that's the truth with every single martial art that's out there. They all have their set of recognized rules or regulations that they observe in order to keep their students relatively safe, or as safe as they can. Okay.
And they feed off of each other because of this intense camaraderie to where it's almost cult-like. I don't know who's worse, BJJ or CrossFit. Have you ever been to one of those hybrid gyms where they're in the same building? And then you have these larger-than-life personalities in the MMA world, and they just totally fan this flame. And they think they're these untouchable modern-day gladiators, and everyone wants to be like them. And then they go and they sign up for these gyms where you have to wear gloves. No eye gouging, no strikes to the groin, no headbutts, no fish hooks, no small joint manipulation, no strikes to the spine or the back of the head. Is this martial arts or is this swim class? I'm pretty sure they have...
So, see, this is where I'm not sure I can take him serious. It looks almost like he's frowning really hard to try to hide a smile. Okay? Like, if you look at the way his cheekbones are starting to come up and the way his eyes almost lift, like he's trying to hide a smile, like, I gotta think this is tongue-in-cheek, because, I mean, really? Like, I don't know a single school, I don't know a single martial art that allows any of that stuff during their sparring. And let's go to one of the ones that people call the most reality-based, right? Because the Israeli military uses it. Krav Maga. I don't see Krav Maga guys sparring, striking each other in the back of the head and the spine and in the groin without cups or protective gear. Like, who's doing this? Like, I'm pretty sure, even if you could find somebody, okay, to do this with, the first person to land the most effective strike to the back of the head, like, good luck finding another sparring partner or talking that guy into letting you smack him in the back of the head again. Right? I mean, What next? Is he going to be like, well, they don't use real knives. They only use shock knives. Well, they're not really stabbing each other in the gut with a 7-inch blade. Well, come on, bro. Like, seriously, there's a certain level of, we are training. There's a certain level of, you, you can only get so real before you're in an actual assault. And I think most, like, normal, average, logical people, reasonable people understand that. Like, there's only so much realness you can get to within training before it's not training anymore, and it's an actual fight. Like, it's an actual fight for your life. There's only so real you can get, right? And so I don't know. Like, I don't know where this guy trains. That I would really love to know where he trains, where they're allowing each other to smack each other in the back of the head and in the spine, because I'd love to go train over there. I would, because I would like to get to try to take one of them down, or have them take me down and let me smack them in the back of the head, punch them in the back of the head a couple times, and see just how, not useful grappling is. I mean, and how unrealistic BJJ is. Like, I don't know. Of all the arguments you could make, like, these are some of the weakest arguments you could make as to why BJJ, quote, doesn't work. But let's try and finish.
The same rules now. I understand that the UFC has to have certain rules in place, or else people would constantly be dead.
Well,
I
yeah.
know that. And if it's your dream to compete in the UFC, fine. That's great. Do whatever you want. But when people participate in the type of training pretty much required to compete in the UFC, like BJJ, then sometimes they get these egos and they make claims like it's better than the traditional martial arts. And that's where the problem comes into play. I don't mind people running their mouth. That doesn't bother me at all. Some people just have.
So again, I don't know how he's serious. If it doesn't bother him that people run their mouth, then why even make the video? I mean, he's saying this as if there's not egos involved in traditional martial arts. Okay, those of us who have trained martial arts for a long time, he's acting as though people who train MMA don't train Taekwondo, don't train Kung Fu, don't train Pankration, don't train karate, all the different various styles, Ishinryu, Shorin-ryu, whatever else, Shotokan, okay, Muay Thai. These are all traditional martial arts, okay? And when he says martial arts, in traditional martial arts, he's being very narrow-minded and very tunneled vision, to where he's only counting Asian or Oriental, or however you want to say it. Those that originated from an Asian, from the Asian area of the world as traditional martial arts, right? If it's Japanese or Chinese or something like that, that's the only things he's counting. So, come on. Like, martial arts, that's an Americanized version, right? That's a westernized version. So martial arts would also include boxing, very traditional. Would include wrestling, very traditional. This guy is just, he can't be serious. He just really can't.
To do that, to feel good about themselves. But when an oblivious person walks into a BJJ club for the first time, when a child walks into there for the first time and they think they're going to learn how to handle themselves in a real-life situation, should it ever arise, that bothers me, because I know what's being taught there is not based on reality. It's based on money, spectatorship, and hype. If you love participating in BJJ because you think it's fun, because it's a great workout, or anything along those lines, then perfect. I agree with you, but BJJ doesn't work in a real-life situation. If you have any questions or comments regarding anything that I've said in this video, then please feel free to leave it in the comment section. I don't really want to argue with anyone or make anyone feel bad. I'm just trying to provide some clarity and perspective as to what BJJ really is and what it has to offer and what it shouldn't claim to offer. I just think everyone has the right to be safe and to know the truth. And I don't think anyone can really argue with that. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like or dislike, comment, and subscribe. You never know when I'm going to be talking about your martial art. See you guys next time.
So overall, this guy just can't be. He can't be a real martial artist. I mean, he just can't. Like, he can't be training anything, and I kind of find it hilarious that this guy doesn't mention what he trains, but it's ridiculous. But even though I really do believe this is a trolling video, I think this is a kidding around video, you know, and he's being that funny clown for everybody to laugh at. I really felt like it addressed a lot of the ridiculous arguments that people bring up when they say, oh, grappling doesn't work, BJJ doesn't work, wrestling, no, that's all great for a sport and yada yada, but, well, I could see how it could be useful, but it's not really, you can't use it to defend yourself. It's ridiculous. Like, and I thought that it was a good one because it included so many of the ridiculous arguments that people make and how funny they are, and how guys like this love to like use Bruce Lee movie clips or whatever to illustrate their point. And it's like, that's a movie, bro. Like, you're talking about how things don't work in the real world, but you're showing a movie clip to prove your point. So anyhow, that's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Remember, be practical, be purposeful, get fit with a purpose.